Morning, good morning, good morning. Rev Em here at Creative Roots Ministry. I'm sorry we're a little bit on the late side this morning. For those who are with us through the week, we know Batty's not been so well. And I always choose a theme for each week based on what's happened the week before to keep things relevant. So we can see how things are in the world and work out how we can move through them and grow through things. So I don't know if you can see here, he's kind of been snuggled, Batty. Yeah? Okay. He's just eaten and he's very well, he'll be full up now after having his breakfast. And he's very cuddly at the moment. So for what happened early in the week is we knew there was an issue with Batty, and I decided to take him to the vets. And the vet, I'd assumed, now we should never assume, but I did. I assumed it was okay because he was eating, and I thought he's just a bit off his food. He's still doing his thing, but he's affected by the cold weather. So I didn't know there was something a lot worse going on underneath. So animals hide it well. And therefore, me and Batty went to the vet and they checked and he said, oh, yeah, we do need to take a tooth out and have a look and clean the teeth because it's that time. And it was like, okay, because he'd had it done and we knew that we'd have to come back at some point. Dogs with an underbite, so teeth that don't line up right, can't clean the teeth properly. So there's more tendency to get issues. So we basically had to do a blood test to see where his leishmaniasis is, because all dogs who have this thing called leishmaniasis, which is a parasite in the system from sandflies. So Batty's a rescue dog, and he had leishmaniasis when I got him, and it's something that you don't often get to see the end of unless it's their time to go. It doesn't really affect them once it's under treatment, but you've got to pay attention because it's something that affects the immune system. So what we did is got the blood test, and it was so bizarre that they did it again because it didn't make sense. And the second results confirmed what the first results had said, and that Batty wasn't well, and he has ridiculously low platelets, which are way lower than most living dogs or even most sick dogs. And therefore we needed to do something about it, but we couldn't do anything until we found out what it was causing the issue. So we sent off the bloods for further investigation, and I started Batty on a raw diet. So raw diet's really good for humans if it's mainly plant-based, and raw diet is best for dogs when it's meat, carnivorous. So I've been learning a lot about that, and he's been on his medication, which he had anyway. So for those of you with dogs with leishmaniasis, you'll find a supplement called S-Leash, and it's got wormwood in it, and wormwood's really good for human parasites. It was how I helped get rid of my cancer. I had cancer and I took wormwood tinctures. So wormwood is incredibly good to get rid of Bon dia. Good morning, Antonio Montenero. Good morning. And so I had wormwood, and it really did help. We're about to be joined by the others. Come on, guys, give Batty space. This is pause. Huh? Yeah. Pause says good morning. Yes. I know. We're telling them about Batty so that they know, so they're not worried. So Batty's test results came through the week. And we've been joined by the whole furry family now. Okay, let's lay down them mittens. And the results said that Batty has got tick fever, and we needed to start the medication straight away. Now, I am very much into natural medicine, so I believe that everything that we need is out there already in, nature somewhere, and we've just maybe not found it yet. So what we've been doing is finding all the correct supplements to treat Batty with. So if you, as a human or a dog, and they're very similar, have issues with your liver, then you want to be taking milk thistle. So Batty's number one supplement is milk thistle. And then for those of you who know what CBD is, or cannabis, or hemp hearts, the seeds are so good and so high in protein, and it boosts your immune system. And we've got ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is another one. It boosts the immune system, and it reduces the swelling on the joints, very much like turmeric. And then, of course, we've been on green lip mussels. It's not so good if you're a vegan, because you won't eat green lip mussels. But if you're an animal, or if you are someone who does have fish in your diet, and you have joint issues like arthritis or aches and pains or missing cartilage, green lip mussels have been known to build that back up. So green lip mussels are in Batty's foods for the next few weeks, definitely. But when you've got leishmaniasis, which can be in humans and dogs, but you can't pass it from a dog to a human, you shouldn't have green lip mussels often, because there's something called high purine, and you need a low purine diet. So you need like chicken and pork and rabbit and stuff like that. So you need things that are not so rich. So you don't want things like red meats. So basically that's where we're up to with this week and Batty. As you can possibly see there in the bottom corner, he's there snuggled under my armpit, and Mittens is here on my knee. So what I found this last week, and it's something that my book was released on Monday, my book Designing a Life That Can Hold Me. And that was something I was really excited. I'm getting my book released, finally out there. I have not really been able to promote my book because I've been focusing, obviously, on my best friend, my furry family, as we all do. And I was talking with Carl Munson on the Good Morning Portugal show, and he was saying, what's the title of the book, Em? As I was explaining about Batty and saying it's been life and death. And I said, it's Designing a Life That Can Hold Me. A memoir of collapse, capacity, and going home. And he went, whoa. And I was like, what? He's like, well, that is exactly what's going on in the world right now. I was like, oh yeah, it really is, isn't it? You see, when we've been tired because we're not sleeping right, we don't think straight. And when we're caring for those that we love, we have a tendency to not sleep, gets a good quality of sleep, and we're not really with it, although we're kind of functioning. And I recognised that although we was, I knew my best friend, Batty, was poorly, and I knew I didn't know, and I was okay with not being okay. I'd completely forgot that it had caused a collapse. So what I mean is, in life, we go through circumstances where things collapse, systems collapse, things that we recognize collapse and cease to be no more. We look at the state of the world right now as we're speaking today, and we can recognize there is collapse all over the place. There's collapse, there's people standing up for things they'd never have stood up for before, people paying attention to what they don't usually pay attention to. And why? Because there's this huge change going on, where that what was familiar to us, we recognized that, like, I thought everything was okay with Batty and it wouldn't be much of a thing. Finding out he was sick, and so sick, really pulled the rug from underneath me. And for those of us who've had this huge change because we thought we were living in a society where we could trust the government, or we could trust people in power, or we could rely on the jobs we have or the people that we work with, and then the rug gets pulled from under us, we have to recognize then that this system isn't quite what we thought it was. So what system am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about, some people call it the Matrix, and some people come up with all sorts of conspiracy theories. So they think that it's someone out to get them. And they think that there's some great power that's trying to reduce their power. And I can see why people think that. Or they think, oh, this has happened, so it must be my fault. And in doing so, they take away their own power. And so I recognized this week, I was like feeling powerless because of the collapse. And when I'd recognized that I was affected by, the power change, the power alteration, I realized there was something I could do something about. I couldn't change what had happened in the past. I couldn't alter anything, the diagnosis, the potential diagnosis, the not knowing. I could affect how I chose to move forward from that point. And that is where our power lies. It wasn't in the thinking someone has done something to me, or I've got to wait for a vet to give me an answer, or when I had cancer, it was wait for the doctors to provide me with an answer. When I had a stroke, I was looking for people to give me answers, and I was looking in the wrong direction. Because when we have a collapse, it's not their belief systems we're dealing with, it's our own. And when we look at our own belief system, we recognize that actually, what is it that I believe in this here moment? And I believed that Batty was so sick and he might die. And that may be real, but is it true? And I believe very much that we have to stop looking with our outer eye and listening to the world with our outer ears until we can pay or place our attention on what we can see clearly with our inner eyes and what we can hear without our ears. And that means, where does it feel right in the body? What is it that I'm seeing and I don't have my eyes open to see it? Because I knew the power comes through knowing, an inner knowing of what feels right. So what was true is, yes, I was waiting for the diagnosis, I was waiting for medicine, I was waiting for support from the vets. I was also giving away the power that I've got, because I was more than capable of coming back to myself and looking for information on what it was that I was dealing with. This is how I managed the cancer. This is how I dealt with the stroke. This is how I've just dealt with Batty. So it's it's being okay that people outside of us have got answers and that can show us support. But it's also coming back to ourselves and recognizing that the power lies within us. And we have the power of choice. We can go out on the internet, we can look up the best diets, we can look up the best supplements, even with no thing, because it's always, we start at zero where we're at. The rug gets pulled from under us and we're like, what's happened? Like, what has happened? We're going through a massive change in society, in the world, in our own personal experiences. What is it that I can do with what I've got starting at zero so that I can move forward to improve my quality of life? A lot of it is a mindset. So our mind was set on something different. And when we change where our mind's at, we're able to move forward into a new state of awareness where we're able to help each other and help ourselves. Mostly, that's where we always start, with ourselves. We are the center of our universe. That isn't narcissistic, it's a fact. Everything that I see, I am witnessing. Every problem that I have, it's in my head. yeah, there's a problem what with the outside world, but if I come back to myself, how can I alter my perception? Is what I see real, and is it true? And most of the time it's a real experience, a real lived experience, like Trump and ICE and Keir Starmer and the people who've been on hunger strike. Thankfully they've let that go now due to Albert not getting their whatever it was they were getting, a contract, and the UK government didn't give them the contract, which is a massive win, huge win. So maybe these people's lives will be saved, and the amount of people who got acknowledgement, the amount of awareness raised because of these actions was brilliant. The Walk for Peace over in America, wow. So some people decided that they had this choice, that where's the power at, and they decided that they would walk across the country for peace. And so they did. And they didn't get many people paying attention, and when I say pay, I'm talking about our circulation. How many people were paying attention? Just random people got up and walked around for peace. It's not something people want to pay attention to. Sai Itoshi. Good morning. And so glad you can be with us, Sai. And what you'll see when people walk for peace is, it wasn't until that monk got hit by a car and he then lost his leg that people started paying attention. Now they've got millions of people around the world, thousands of people coming out of the houses, going out, offering them places to stay, sharing food, and they're on the news, and the incredible news that they have, real new news, instead of the old stuff that brings fear, doubt, and worry. They're bringing news that spreads love and light and kindness, and that it's changing people's perceptions of what's going on in the world. I mean, how cool is that? And it happened because they made a choice. They said, where's my perception at? Carla Pedro, good morning. Hi. So glad you can be with us. So people, when we get these choices and we can come back to ourselves and remembering we are at the center of our universe, we have to care for ourselves first before we can care for other people, you know, always. So we come back to ourselves. What choice can I make that will make a change for highest good, or for the most good thing that can possibly happen according to where my head's at right now? So this week I chose supplements for Batty's health. Batty's my pet dog, my best friend. More than just a dog, he's my best friend, and I love him very much. I see you're not feeling so good, Carla. Bless you. May you be well, may you be safe, and may you be held by the universe and supported as you move forward. And I'll pray for you. And so, as we recognize our choices into how we can change our world through how we show up, we're able to change our perception of what we see in the world and how we interact with it. This is how we get our inner peace. This is how we come out of the fear state of thinking that the world happens to us and we've got no power, no chance of being able to take care of ourselves, and come back to the fact that actually we do, and we can make a change. I recovered from cancer because I chose to make a change. I wasn't going to be told what to do. I wasn't going to be told that I was written off. I wasn't going to be told that just because statistics tell me one thing, that I'm going to do something exactly like them, because I know I am a distinct human being. I'm a unique person. There is only one of me in the universe, and as such, there's only one of you. And there's one of each of us. Then no one but you can tell you what's right for you. No one can tell you. No one knows. A diagnosis is not a prognosis. No one knows what's going to happen. Many vets would have said, it's time for Batty to go to sleep. No. Is Batty suffering? Yes. Has he improved a lot? Yes. Batty wanted to be given a chance, and you could tell. And as soon as someone wants to be given a chance, and that person makes a choice to live and to improve the quality of life, it will be done. It's not a miracle. It can appear that miracles happen. The truth is that we're all capable of such miracles. And the magic of life happens when we use the tools of the earth properly. Tools of the earth is universal law. Universal law says if what we want, we can get more of. Batty wants life, and Batty's living his life to the full right now, eating the most delightful food for a dog and having some amazing supplements and being loved and being able to snuggle by the fire and be told that I love him as I love Mittens and Paws, and I'm still able to show up and do things, but I'm working around the change, which is Batty and his health, because Batty is coming first. But if there was a first place, it would still go to me, because how do I look after Batty if I can't look after myself? And so I have to make sure I eat and I sleep and I take care of Mittens and Paws too. It's just the same when we have a diagnosis, or when we're caring for people we love, whether we're parents and we have to care for our children, or whether we've got elderly parents or sick parents or vulnerable adults in our care. We have to care for ourselves first. And then, after we've cared for ourselves, we can then move on to caring for other people in a much better way. Much better way. And that's what matters. So take the chance by choosing today. How do you put you first so you can move forward to continue to help other people? I don't know how you show up in your life to help other people. Maybe you see the walk for peace. They want inner peace and they want peace. And as the monk said, when we have peace within ourselves, that's how we change the world. When we have huge change happen, we don't have peace within ourselves until we sit with ourselves long enough to recognize who's got the power, what our choices are in the situation, you know? So we come back to ourselves. Where are we at? What can we do? You know, give ourselves that time and space. A good friend said, give time, time. And Gary was so right, because we have to give time to do stuff, you know, do what it needs to do. We've got to give the universe a chance to put everything in place for us. If you believe in the universe, maybe you believe in a God. Maybe your God is the God within yourself. All of it is valid. All of it is true. All of it is real. It's all dependent on a perspective, whichever perspectives you've got. No one can tell you you're wrong, because inside you is right. And it's so right and so healthy and so normal, because you know what's right for you. No one else can tell you what's right for you. You know, you can live your life for other people, trying to improve and do what your parents tell you to and make other people happy. But when you live in your life to make other people happy, thinking that your happiness is dependent on that, it can be taken away. But you can return to yourself, and when your happiness is dependent upon you and only you find a whole lot more life to live, a lot more peace to experience, and a lot more joy to simply be. And so, with that, I'm going to move on to, feel free to ask any questions. If anyone's got any questions about dealing with huge change or what's going on in the world, I'd be more than happy to discuss that with you, because I know there's so many people live online right now, and people who watch the replay. There's over 42 different countries who connect with us. So I love to discuss things, and I'm happy to share my own discoveries of what I've discovered whilst sitting at the edge, you know, sitting at the edge of life and death. And again, this week has been one where I've been sitting this time with the death, potential death, and my best friend. Currently, he's all right, and he's making improvements, but we'll see, because I never like to depend on one particular thing. And we can think about manifestation, but surely if it's your best friend, don't you just want what you want? Do you not just want the best for him, and isn't the best for him that you're both together? we'll see. Because what I do know is I don't know. Yeah, so in life we think we know what's best, and the chances are we don't see the bigger picture. And the bigger picture might be that if someone's sick, what's the karma of staying for longer? Is it good? Is it beneficial for them? Or are they going to be suffering for longer and not have any quality of life? And it's a balance. And who am I to say what's right or wrong? You know, it's personal choice. So I'm not manifesting what I think's good. I'm manifesting for the highest good for all life involved. May it be well. And sometimes that means things go. And sometimes the things that need to go are very welcome. You know, maybe we've got a job that we don't want anymore. We've got a habit that doesn't serve us anymore. But maybe we've got people that are very rude to us that we don't want in our life anymore. And we have to say goodbye or take a break or get space. And that's okay. That's perfectly okay. And times like that, we're so grateful for that change. And although it's sad and we grieve what was familiar to us, we're okay. But it's so much harder, so much more of a challenge when we've got something going on in our life with someone we care about and love so deeply. And it's so much more challenging to put in place boundaries and to just be with what is. But always remember that you hold the power through your mindset. So where your mind is set, you hold that power to choose, to change your perspective. And although things may seem real, when you give that something space, you'll find that what real doesn't actually turn out to be so real, and what's the truth behind it all. And with that, I'm going to share a prayer for the week and the future, because I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for being able to be with my furry friend this week. I'm so grateful that I've not neglected mittens and paws. And we've been one furry family. I'm so grateful for right use of the internet. So grateful for being able to research and take my power back and be able to find things that improve quality of life, especially when we're standing at the edge of life and death. So I'm so grateful for the support, for the love of people, for the kindness, for the people sending their love and prayers for Batty and for our family. I'm so grateful for the people that have sent money to support Batty's supplements and medication. I'm so grateful for the vets and for their knowledge, experience, and their sharings with us this week. And because of that, and from that place of space of gratitude, I recognize that one presence that's always present, that's never absent. I recognize that love and that peace and that just incredible generosity that exists upon the planet, experienced in life. I'm so grateful for this presence, for this generosity, and for this loving kindness that exists everywhere, right around the globe. And from this place of gratitude and from this place of recognition of the one that's always there, that's never absent, I also recognize that everything's so interconnected. There is nothing that is not. I recognize how the vets and their knowledge and their experience from around the world connects with my experience and the experience shared through so many people, and how vital it is that we live in this incredible, diverse web of being. I'm so grateful for the polarities of the good and the bad and the peace and the war and the chaos, because I get to see that standing out what I'm truly grateful for. And it makes me recognize the importance of life and living. When we're standing on the edge of life and death and good and bad and right and wrong, and we recognize that space in the middle, that incredible oneness that everything's all connected to, I'm blown away by the incredible truth beyond what appears real. I'm blown away by the truth that underneath everything, there's this interconnected web that is woven by each and every single one of us, and it matters what we do and how we show up and where we show up matters. I'm so thankful that these people all care and that there's human in humanity, and that it isn't all about fear and doubt and lack and worry, and that it's about love and about kindness and about peace and about how we can make this world a better place. And because I realize what is possible when we humans come together and connect as we do, I am so thankful. So thankful for each and every single one of you, whether you're here on the live or whether you're here watching the replay. Whether you're not here at all, I'm so grateful for each and every single one of you that walk the planet, that take that choice to make a change and improve your quality of life and find the peace within yourself so that you can reconnect and be the bridge that bridges the divides in society, that returns us back to that one being, that one love, that one essence, that one presence that's never an absence. For this, I'm incredibly thankful. And thank you for being here today. And thank you for the right use of the internet, because without it, these words would never be heard by man, but they would be heard through the interconnectedness of the ground that we walk on, the trees, the wind that sings our names. So I release these words, knowing that they're true, knowing what I'm spelling into existence is highest good and peace beyond all understanding for each and every single one of us walking and living on the planet. Amen. Aho. Ashe. Shalom. Big loves to you, all of you, and thank you for joining us today. Keep on in touch about Batty. I'll put up updates when we know. Let's keep our minds open to possibilities. Feel free to connect at any time, ask questions. And I really appreciate hearing from you and getting to know you all. So we're ending today's service with a blessing. May you be safe. May you be well. May you find that peace beyond all understanding. And may you find balance. I love you all. I'm so grateful to be part of this lived experience with each and every one of you, and sending out so much love. Namaste.